Yeah. But this is reward, and I hope. Small.
So, what are the goals and purposes of community organizing? Community organizing is about giving back the power to citizens and what democracy looks like in the 21st century, where the citizens believe that the national institutions and the European level institutions are hollowed out and they give no power to the voices of the normal citizens. There is not a single approach, strategy, and way to apply community organizing. Nevertheless, the purpose and goals stay the same. That is, reaching out to specific local communities and initiating a process that is both time intensive and often not that easy to empower the community to take ownership of their issues and apply tools that develop solution finding competences and thus take ownership of the solutions. One of the main goals and purposes of community organizing is to develop local leadership. Often, an indicator is the quality and level of commitment of local leaders involved in campaign and action. And when we talk about quality, we mean the capacity of leaders to not only lead the processes, but also to inspire and guide others to develop their leadership. Community organizers do so through capacity building, training, and coaching. The second one is to involve stakeholders. Every community faces problems, and within those problems, specific issues can be found that need addressing and solutions as a step towards solving the more significant problem. Once the issue is identified, organizers work with the specific community and explore the territory, identifying stakeholders, potential for partnerships, and potential opponents. The goal is to involve all stakeholders affected wholly or partly by the issue to act together towards owning and implementing the solution, which involves research, face-to-face and one-to-one meetings, more prominent fora, listening tours, and focus groups, just to mention a few tools. The third one is power building. Community organizing has among its main goals and purposes building the long-term capacity of marginalized community to negotiate their interests with other stakeholders, opponents, and those who hold the necessary power and resources that would allow them to solve their issues. And finally, we have direct action. The final goal and purposes is to engage the community in actions and tactics that range from data collection, research, and evidence building the public education and debate, with a readiness to confront and challenge relevant decision makers and holders of powers and resources. So, what is the connection between community organizing and youth work? Youth work has been defined as a planned program of education designed for the purpose of aiding and enhancing the personal and social development of young people through their voluntary involvement and which is complementary to their formal, academic, or vocational education and training and provided primarily by voluntary youth work organizations. Also, there seems to be a shared set of values and methods in youth work practices all around Europe. Voluntary participation of young people, listening to their voices, bringing young people together, and connecting and broadening to young people's life world. Every program supporting young people and youth workers, whether at the European or national level, has included in its strategy the need to develop a culture of active and democratic citizen participation, placing a stronger focus on local youth work and local involvement recently. And this is happening in a context as defined by the Council of Europe's Parliamentary Assembly. The paradox of today's democracies is that although never ever in the lifetime so many people have lived in democracies, never were so many people disappointed within the quality of their democracies they live in and experience on a daily basis. We are witnessing a huge concentration of power and money, and very often also a huge concentration of the media in the hands of a few so that our democracy institutions become vulnerable. The building of a healthy democracy is grounded on active citizen participation, and that is a long-term and constantly ongoing process that does not ever have a clear end. It takes 6 months to create new political institutions, to write a constitution, and to create electoral laws, and it may take up to 6 years to set up a halfway viable economy, and it will probably take 60 years to create a civil society. Autonomous institutions are the hardest things to bring out. Every youth strategy today in Europe at the local level talks about youth engagement in democratic processes, for youth to participate and speak for themselves, exposing young people to grassroots democratic practices or creating them. Community organizing is an opportunity to develop active, influential, and democratic youth participation, starting from the small and local levels. What we see today is community organizing applied to tackle multiple issues such as integration of immigrants, infrastructure improvements, and job market access for the hard to employ. So why can it become an essential and strong tool in the hands of youth workers? Through community organizing, young people are allowed to take an active role in democratic processes, make stakeholders more transparent and accountable, and actively participate in decision-making processes that can shape the future starting from their communities and potentially beyond that, promoting a healthy and participatory democracy. Now is the time when we need value-driven active citizens to become influential players in our communities. The first step should happen with youth and fostered by youth organizations, because community organizing is a democratically governed long-term process where young people can come together to act in their shared self-interest, to identify community issues as well as solutions, and therefore to take action by engaging the power structures that are in place and make the solution a reality.